Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to do a final review on this Meprolight. I've been working with this for about 2 months. It's a pretty innovative sighting system. There's no front sight, you know, it's just a rear sight. And then when you get proper sight alignment, you basically see a bullseye with a circle around it. You can see if I can get, there you go. So you see a bullseye with a circle around it when you get proper sight alignment. And in the daytime, I find that this works great, right? I mean, it doesn't even need to be a bright day. You know, it could be a cloudy day. If you're outdoors, this is going to work good. But it does not work good if you're indoors or if you're, like, let's say, even in a shady area. It doesn't work so well. You know, like if I'm in a shed, or you know, if there's some type of cover over me, you know, I mean, yes, you will see it, but it's not distinct enough where, like, because if I'm outdoors, I can just go one-handed, I can find it really quickly, right? There's enough light over here so I can tell. And that's one of the things that initially attracted me to this. I was at a range and I was training somebody, and they had a SIG 365 that came with this system, right? And I was impressed how, you know, I could just pick this up one-handed, you know, and just basically have this in some awkward position, like behind my back almost over here, or like stretching behind over here, and how quickly, you know, I could, you know, I could line this up and see that dot with circle around it. So if you're outdoors, yeah, this works great. But when I tested this in shady areas or indoors, it did not work as well. I tested this at night. At night, you get tritium in there. So in the daytime, you're using, this thing uses a fiber optic. So the fiber optic is really bright. It draws a lot of sunlight in. But at night, it just uses the tritium. And I mean, there's just not enough tritium in there for this to be bright enough for me to be confident that I have good sight alignment. You know, a lot of times, you know, at night I find myself holding this and kind of moving it around, trying to figure out, is that the brightest position that this can be in to make sure I got the best sight alignment. And I just did not have confidence in using this at night or indoors. Okay. On top of that, one of the things that I found is when you shoot this a lot, that this does come loose. Now, it doesn't come loose to the extent that it completely comes out. It comes loose to the point where it kind of clicks back and forth a little bit. I have this as tight as possible, right? And I've Loctited this down twice. Okay, I Loctited it once. I saw that if I was going like this, it was moving a little bit. And and then basically what I did is I tested it. I didn't see that there was any movement in the screws. I said, you know, let me break. I broke the lot tight. I did it again just in case there was some type of an error. Let it dry. Same deal. I mean, like right now, it's not moving. If I start shooting this, it does vibrate it loose so that there's a little bit of play. Now, because this is, you know, it's not like a front sight and rear sight. So if this moves, let's say, 1/8 of an inch to the right, your point of impact is only going to be 1/8 of an inch to the right. It's not going to be. It's not like if you got a front sight and a rear sight, and you move one of those just a little bit, and you're way off. Okay, if this moves a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, you know, you're just going to be off by that amount. So for example, if this was to move all the way to the edge over here, right? You know, so let's say it moved a full 1/4 of an inch, my point of impact would only be a 1/4 of an inch shift to the right. So it's not that big of a deal. So you know, so it like right now, it's not coming loose. It just occasionally I will feel it click back and forth, but you know, and I have shot it a lot, from, you know, with that situation, and it doesn't get any looser than that. Now, one of the things, you know, I did a prior video on this. I actually did the actual installation. The way this works, you know, when you slide in, it goes in really loose, and then you got these 2 screws over here that kind of pull this tight. And if you look over here, you can actually see a little bit of space underneath it, so you can actually see a gap over there. So it's not like the. Let me see if I can. There you go. You can see the gap where it slides into the rear sight. You know, you can see the snow through it. You can see the white. All right. So there's I mean, that could definitely be improved upon. It's not like a snug fit when you slide in. It really depends on tightening these screws to pull it up and kind of wedge it in there. I've done a lot of shooting. It doesn't come completely loose. It just kind of clicks back and forth, which is kind of, it kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable as far as like, yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better with this design. But that's not my main issue with this. My main issue is that for night shooting or for indoor shooting, it's just, I can't just pick this up, point in a given direction, and know that I'm lined up. I don't have the same confidence that I have right now in the daytime. So it's cool. I think it's a great novelty. I didn't return this. I kept it because, hey, like a lot of times when I'm training people, I'm saying, okay, I can give them different choices. I can give them different things to try out. I can say, hey, here I got iron sights. Here I've got a pistol with a red dot on it. Here I've got this new system. Why don't you try them all out and see how you like it? So it kind of, it's cool because people get to try out a lot of different things. So that's why I kind of kept, I kind of kept this. But for I think most people are not going to be happy with this, especially if you're shooting probably at an indoor range, right? Because usually most indoor ranges, they're not like extremely lit. So you're probably not going to have an easy time of just picking this off, putting it out there and having confidence that you are lined up. So yeah, I wanted to kind of close this off and give you guys my final opinion on this. I don't think most of you are going to be happy with the Meprolight. I'm giving it a thumbs down. As a self-defense, everyday carry type of system, sighting system for your gun. But it is a cool novelty. It is a cool novelty. It's something that you can have a little fun with. Try out something different. So there's my thoughts on that. If you guys have any comments, feedback, put in the comment section. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.